would like to invite our second speaker, Colonel Raman Thapar. So, Colonel Thapar has been flightless since 1972 with collecting interests that include Army Postal Covers of India, First Flight Covers, Indian Armed Forces, Postal History, Olympic and Football Philately, as well as thematic collections on birds and fauna. He served in the Indian Army for 33 years and is an alumni of both National Defense Academy and Indian Military Academy. Today he'll be speaking on Indian Armed Forces Aviation through Army Postal Service covers. Over to you, Colonel Thapar.
Good evening, everybody. I'll be speaking on something which is the Indian Armed Forces Aviation through the Army Postal Service covers. As most of you will be aware, in the armed forces across the world have three wings generally: the Army, Navy, and the Air Force. And they have all the three wings also have special aviation units. The Indian Air Force, for example, has squadrons which different roles. The Indian Army Aviation Corps has also the aircrafts and the helicopters, and similarly the Naval Aviation Wing. I will be speaking about the history of Army Postal Service, firstly from 47 to 72. As some of you may be aware, Major D.S. Vick was actually the pioneer of Army Postal Service, as also the philately in the Army. So he was posted somewhere in Japan in 1947, and then he took over from Lieutenant Colonel Vickers when the partition took place and the Indian Army opened its own Army Postal Service. And he remained as the helm of the affairs as far as the Army Postal Service is concerned till March 72. There are two actually APOs which I'll talk a little later. There is a 56 FPO was raised in 1941 at Secunderabad after it came back from the Japanese operations. And it formed the nucleus of the 56 APO, or the one central base office, base post office, which is presently located in Delhi. Thereafter, two central base post office, or two CBPO, was also established in 64 to cover or provide the cover to FPOs of the Eastern India, the army units which are in Eastern India. On 1st of March 72, APS, or the Army Postal Service, became an independent corps. Brigadier Virk retired, and then the Brigadier Raghav took over the Army Postal Service. As far as the Army Postal Service are concerned, very few countries have this kind of a system. The Army Postal Service tried to get with India Post to issue stamps and first day covers related to the defense themes. However, that was not agreed to, and then the MPS has since then, from 1971, been issuing covers with the defense themes. These are the special covers. Only very few countries in the world where the Army or the Army Postal Service issues such covers. As on 1970 July, there were 21 philatelic bureaus existed in India. The one CBPO philatelic bureau was started on 18th July 70. The two CBPO started functioning on 18th of August 1970. This was primarily to give the army people or the armed forces people who wanted to collect either the Indian stamps or the Indian first day covers, as also the Army Postal Service covers, which were released in 1971 onwards. In fact, the first special APS cover was issued on Army Day, that was 15 January 1971. As on date, 81 philatelic bureaus are functioning in India, who also offer these APS covers other than the India Post related covers also. Although it is not verified, but to the best of my knowledge or as per my records, from 1971 till date, or 31st March, 1587 covers have been issued by the APS. This is the first cover which was issued on, or the second cover, in fact, which was issued on the Air Force Day. Air Force Day that time was being celebrated on 1st of April 1971. And these covers are showing, you see there is a cover, which is the special cover. There's a brochure, and I have also as a cancelled brochure which has all the information. So this shows a fly past over Delhi for the 26th January parade, which generally happens every year in India. And this is, as I was mentioning, it was 1st of April when the Air Force Day was there. Now it is 8th of October. Every year the Air Force Day is celebrated. The first squadron, there's a cover on the first fighter squadron of the Indian Army. I'll go as per the fighter squadrons first. The cover on the left, you see, it was issued by the APS in 2008 and to celebrate the 75 years of the first squadron. If you see on the cancellation, it is the insignia of the Air Force, which of the squadron, which is Tigers. And if you see, the cancellation is care of 56 APO. So there was only these cancellations were issued in that time, care of 56 APO or care of 99 APO, but it depended on the place where it was released. In fact, the first squadron was commanded by squadron leader Subrata Mukherjee, who later rose to be the Indian Air Force chief also. Also, a stamp was released on 1993 to mark the Diamond Jubilee of the first squadron, and this cover is autographed by the commanding officer of that time, Wing Commander A. Chopra, who later rose to be the Air Marshal Anil Chopra, and he commanded the squadron from 92 to 94. So this is a cover where he had autographed the cover which was issued, or the stamp which was issued. This is the first day cover. All of you must be also aware of, people in the Indian Armed Forces must be aware of the Marshal of the Indian Air Force, Arjun Singh. He commanded number 1 Squadron Air Force during the World War II, particularly during the Arakan campaign in Burma in 1944. And he was awarded a DFC, or a Distinguished Flying Cross. He became the Chief of Air Staff in 64 and 69, and the stamp was released in his honor. And eventually, he also became the only officer in the Air Force history, Indian Air Force history, to be promoted to the rank of Marshal of the Air Force. As prevalent in India, there is a fleet review carried by the President of India. Mostly, it is of the Navy, but fleet review at Air Force Station Chandigarh was also happened, and this is a special cover to commemorate that event when it was also the Platinum Jubilee of the Indian Air Force. And it was the fleet review was carried out by the President of India then, Dr. Abdul Kalam. And again, the cancellation you see is of 56 APO. Indian Air Force has only Paramveer Chakra, or the highest gallantry award, awarded to Flying Officer NGS Sekhon for his operations or his valor deeds in 1971. Cover was released by the Indian Armed Forces in 82, and then a stamp was also released when the 50th anniversary of IAF was celebrated, which featured Flying Officer Nirmaljit Sekhon. So the cover is of released by the Army Postal Service, with a cancellation again in a different format of the 56 APO. The stamp is alongside this cover. Then we move to something within the Air Force which is known as the communications squadrons. They have the nickname of the insignia as Pegasus. These are basically the VVIP Transport and Special Air Missions Unit. When the President presented a standard to the squadron in 84, the Army Postal Service released a cover to commemorate that event. The aircrafts which are in their fleet, including modern aircrafts, are there for carriage of the VIP transport people. So these are also listed or shown on the cover. When the Golden Jubilee took place, again a cover was released with you can see a stamp on the Air Force also is used on that, and it was released by APS on 31st of October 1997 to mark the Golden Jubilee of this thing. Again, the Pegasus is prominently displayed, and this is again a cover marked or cancelled at 56 APO. Going on the fighter squadrons, then we have the cover on the 9 Squadron of the Air Force, also nicknamed the Wolf Pack, and it was initially formed under the Royal Air Force in during World War II, and it was presented the standards by the President on 11th December 84. The cover commemorates that event. It was presented at Palam in Delhi. Then we have the 14th Squadron Air Force cover when it celebrated its Golden Jubilee, also known as the Bulls, as their nickname. And the President's standards were presented on 11th November 1994 by the then President of India, Dr. Shankar Dayal Sharma. Interestingly, Squadron Leader Rakesh Sharma, who became the first Indian to go into the outer space on the Soyuz T-11 aircraft, was part of the squadron or flew with the squadron. And he was honored with the Ashok Chakra, the highest civilian awards for the not during operations, and hero of the Soviet Union by the then USSR government. 16th Squadron again a very popularly known as the Black Cobras. This squadron was raised on 15th September 54. A stamp was released to mark its 50 years, and this covered special cover also signed by A.C. Chopra, Wing Commander A.C. Chopra was the commanding officer of that time. And you will also find that this cover has been postmarked at Gorakhpur, where at that point of time the squadron was stationed. Number 18 Squadron of the Air Force, known as the Flying Bullets, nicknamed, and apart from it features flying officer, as you see, Nirmal Shekhar again. But the cancellation is interesting because it is from 99 APO and also autographed by Group Captain KJ Singh, who was the commanding officer of this squadron at that point of time, and the cover was released. The 21 Squadron, nicknamed Ankush, was raised on 16th October, and the President's standards were given to it for its meritorious service to the nation by Srimati Pratibha Devi Singh Patil, the then President of India. And this cover was released on 4th of March 2015, issued by the Army Postal Service. The 22 Squadron of the Indian Air Force was also known as Hells Angels and later as Swifts. The present Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Amarpreet Singh, has commanded this squadron from 2002 to 2004. And this squadron was again presented with the President's standard in November 2015. Again, this was released at the FPO in Northeast, and that's why the postmark on this is of care of 99 APO. The 24th Squadron of the Air Force, known as the Hawks, was again presented with the standards at the Air Force Station where it was located. Similarly, the 26th Squadron of the Air Force was presented the standards, and is one of the oldest and most distinguished squadrons of the Indian Air Force, having been raised on 1st May 1938, when it was raised in the erstwhile part of India in Karachi. And it was at Tejpur that the President presented them the standards. In fact, this cover released by Army Postal Service has autographed by the President, Shri Pranab Mukherjee. The 28th Squadron is for the first Air Force unit to be equipped with the MiG-21 aircrafts. And again, it was when it was honored with the standards. This cover was released by the Army Postal Service. On 26 September 2025, when the Indian Air Force retired the MiG-21 aircraft from its service after a service of 62 years, ceremonial farewell was given to the aircraft at Chandigarh Air Force Station. And the present Air Force Chief, who was himself a MiG-21 pilot, flew the aircraft during the farewell tribute, and a cover was also released to commemorate this occasion. Apart from the fighter squadrons, as I said, there are transport squadrons which have a fleet of aircraft which are generally for the transport duties within the Indian Air Force. And the first one that I have covered is when the president presented the standards to 41 Squadron of the Indian Air Force, and the cover was released on that occasion. The 44th Squadron again on 2011, this cover was released, and it is when the standards presentation again was done by the President of India. The Army Postal Service released these covers. 48 Squadron again, which is equipped with these AN-32s and Dakotas. Again, during this standard presentation, commemoration of that, this cover was released, and you see the cancellation where the camel cancellation is there, which is the insignia that this squadron carries. There is a transport sortie which for the northern boundaries or the northern regions of the country in India, there is always a airmail sortie for the logistics and the transport facilities given to the troops there. There is a sortie which is sent to the Ladakh, and this cover was released to feature the this sortie from to Ladakh. The cancellation again is, as you see, the 56 APO with the Air Force insignia. And again, mail is carried mostly in this, apart from the transport or the logistics or the other things, the mail is always carried for the troops in these flights. After the transport squadrons, we have some helicopter squadrons which are also being illustrated in the covers, which were released by Army Postal Service. The one here is 109 helicopter unit, again, which was awarded the standards in 1991. A cover has been released to commemorate that. Similarly, 110 Squadron again was presented. When it was presented the standards, the cover was released, and they were part of a lot of operations in 1962, 66, and 71. 111 helicopter unit, also known as the Snow Tigers, and which has all the aircrafts like Dhruv, Chetak, Cheetah, that is the smaller aircrafts, was presented the standards, and this cover was released on that occasion to commemorate the award of the President's standards. 114 helicopter squadron, when it was presented the standards in 1996, this cover was released at that point of time, and it is known as Siachen Pioneers as far as the nicknames are concerned. 116 helicopter unit was presented the President's colors by Shri Pranab Mukherjee, and known as the Tank Boxers and the Skylarks. Again, this cover has been autographed by the President when he did the presentation of the colors or standards to the helicopter unit. 119, again, when President Pranab Mukherjee awarded them the standards, this cover has been autographed by him on that occasion. You have some establishments which are the administrative establishments of the command of the operational headquarters in the Air Force in the country. So headquarters Eastern Command, which looks after the eastern, you can say the eastern areas of, or the theater of operations. When the Golden Jubilee was celebrated, this cover was released by the Army Postal Service. When Central Command celebrated 50 years of its existence, this particular cover was released, and both of them you see as marked at 56 APO. Southern Command, when it celebrated its Silver Jubilee in 84, again a cover was released, and this is the cover which was released on that occasion. Apart from these, you have institutions like Air Force Technical College, which train. It was established with the help of Air Service Training Corps, the Hamel in United Kingdom, and in 57 it was named as the Air Force Technical College. When the president presented colors, Srimati Pratibha Devi Singh Patil, this cover has been autographed by her when the standards were presented. Two interesting covers which relate to the medical establishments of the Indian Air Force. The Institute of Aerospace Medicine, in fact, located at Bangalore, plays a vital role in as far as the aviation fitness of the people are concerned. The institute was awarded President's Colors in 21 November 2005. In fact, Group Captain Shukla was chosen for the IAF's astronaut selection process through the Institute of Aerospace Medicine. And a cover which was released for his Axiom mission is also listed. Group Captain Shukla is incidentally a alumni of NDA and thereafter National Defense Academy and thereafter of the Air Force Academy. These are the covers on, as we have been talking about, a tri-services establishment is there in India, which trains cadets for all the three services. The National Defense Academy located at Pune, and it was as one of the first tri-services training academies of the world. In 1954, it there, and when it celebrated its silver jubilee and the golden jubilee, special covers were released by the Army Postal Service to commemorate these occasions. And a lot of our generation of officers who've risen to be the chiefs and have been awarded gallantry awards have come through this academy. Sorry, I'll go to the Army Aviation Corps now. As part of the Air Force, also Air Force has whole fleet of aircrafts, helicopters, and such kind of things. So Army Aviation also had used aircraft which were known initially as air observation posts. The first number 656 Air Operations Squadron of the Royal Air Force in India was established for the Burma campaign in 1942. After independence, this was disbanded and named as the Independent Recce Observation Flight and part of the Indian Army Aviation. Formally, the Indian Army Aviation Corps came into being on 0 November 86. Before that, it was generally Recce Observation Flights. So these two covers depict the different areas or different periods of Army Aviation. It was when in 1997 the first Recce observation flight marked its golden jubilee, and when the Army Aviation Corps was formally established in 2011. That is the time it was. When it was silver jubilee, that cover was released during that time. The air defense, as you know, we have seen in a lot of the recent skirmishes that have happened where air defense plays a prominent role whenever the air operations are on. So the Corps of Army Aviation's 5th reunion event took place. This cover was released in 2011, again postmarked 99 APO. And then the Air Defense Regiment of the Corps of Army Air Defense, Silver Jubilee, the AD Regiment, Air Defense Regiment, a cover was issued on that. As you see, I've listed that on 10th January 84, it became a separate corps as far as the Indian Army is concerned. Then you have the air defense missile systems, self-propelled. So self-propelled missile systems are also a part of the Army Air Defense, where a cover was issued on one of the AD missile regiments. And similarly, on 511 AD missile regiment again, these covers were issued to commemorate their silver jubilees, again by the Army Postal Service. Both of them are marked or cancelled at 56 APO. Any aviation or aeroflatly collections will should consist of a parachutes. You will have either cancellations or covers on parachute. This is a two interesting covers. The parachute regiment to mark the silver jubilee of a parachute regiment. It shows a parachute on the cover itself, and the cancellation is from a. You will see the cancellation is from a FPO, 832 FPO. The cancellation is from that, and it has a parachute. So for collections where people want to use it in the parachute collections or aviation or aeroflatly, they can use. Similarly, this cover is for supplies. When supplies are airdropped through the parachutes, then there are units which are composite Army Service Corps units which do this. And it is again interesting that a parachute is there on that. It is signed by the commanding officer of that particular unit, and see the cancellation has parachute, and the vehicles being dropped by parachute also. You have there are some field artillery units where artillery equipment is para dropped. So those kind of, this is the cover which is released in 1991 on 17 parachute field regiment. It has parachute and the gun or the howitzer which is also there on the cover, and you see there is a aircraft cancellation is there, which is where you can see the droppings taking place. So these are again interesting cancellations on the covers. Paratroopers training takes place earlier when in 1941 the air landing school was established at Wellington Airport. Those people who are familiar with Delhi, now it is the Safdarjung Airport, but earlier the first airport was not at Palam where it is now. It was Wellington Airport, and Safdarjung Airport was that time it was called Wellington. Later on Safdarjung, and it was the air landing school was established here, and later on relocated to Agra. The cover commemorates the Diamond Jubilee of the Paratroopers Training School. Now we come to the Naval Air Squadrons, again a airborne arm of the Indian Navy. When the first naval station at INS Garuda, which is known as, was commissioned at Kochi. There are naval aviation squadrons are there, and I will not go into the details of that, but the first one, a cover on which was issued was on Black Panthers, the Indian Naval Air Squadron 303, known as Black Panthers. It was the MiG-29 aircrafts from the INS Vikramaditya operate from there. So this cover is commemorating the and again cancelled at Panaji. So this is a naval aviation which can be used as a naval aviation cover. You have the White Tiger, INS in Naval Squadron 300, and this stamp was also released, and the cancellation is also from Panaji. So this pertains to Indian Naval Squadron 300. And then another cover on the same squadron, which again is Dabolin, cancelled from AP Dabolin. We have similar covers on the IANS 310, which is known as Cobra, operated from the aircraft carrier INS Vikrant. And then you have the Falcons, again, which became the first squadron to operate Sea Harriers for the Indian Navy, which is a major milestone in the Navy aviation history. A cover on the Boeing P-81, which is the long-range maritime patrol aircrafts, so was also released in 2015. By the cover was released to mark that occasion, and naval aviation completed 60 years, on which a special cover was released at Panaji. This is a cover which is released to mark it is a first day cover when the President's fleet review took place in Visakhapatnam in India. It was reviewed by President APJ Abdul Kalam, and in this cover is interesting because this cover has a cancellation of the Coast Guards, which is a part of the paramilitary, you can say naval wing of paramilitary naval wing, and the cancellation is by the commandant of the 744 Coast Guard Squadron, and it was part of the naval fleet where you can see the ships and which were involved in the naval review fleet. One of the this Coast Guard Squadron was involved in that. So it's an interesting cover as far as the naval aviation or is concerned. Some facts which I want to bring so that the collectors are aware of it when, in case they want to uh, uh, start collecting these kind of covers or APS covers. APS covers have been cancelled at 56 and 99 APO, as I told you. So 56 APO is part of the Central Base Post Office, which is in Delhi, and 99 is part of the 2 CVPO. And these covers are generally released by the FPOs and the places where their cover or the release ceremony or these events are held. The exact numbers and locations are not recorded, unfortunately. The stamps affixed are all India Post release stamps and at the prevalent postage rates for land envelopes or the inland envelope rates in India. So all the covers you will find have affixed the stamp of starting from a 20 paisa to 5 rupees now. And the quantity of each cover release is not recorded, but may vary from 200 to 2000 depending on the demand of the organizations which are celebrating these events. Their covers are supplied to them, but how many are actually cancelled and used is again not recorded. That is a challenge that we face as far as the collectors are concerned. In when it started, the first cover, 1971, it was costed 30 paisa, and a 20 paisa stamp was affixed. Some covers during the period when the refugee stamps or the refugee additional postage was affixed on all the mail that went around that time in 71, 71, 72. That is the time these covers also carried the refugee stamps affixed to them. So I have covers of that period which are affixed with that stamp. The first day commercially used covers are very, very scarce because the exact date of release and the place from where it is released is generally because of security reasons not known. But some places when you have that and people fillet lists are there, they're used to. I have some covers which I used to or happen to be there and posted the same day. Those kind of covers are there. Autographed covers are known to exist, but quantities recorded as far as the senior armed forces officers are concerned or the presidents are concerned are very, very limited. And again, the quantity is not known really, or not recorded, and may not be more than 5 or 6 if they have been autographed. Also, we have information that at least 2 covers are known to have been withdrawn for possibly spelling mistakes on covers and the cancellation. But I have a knowledge that before the withdrawal took place, some are there in the public domain with either the organizations or with the collectors. So that possibility is there that these withdrawn covers are also, so they may command some premium price as far as, or maybe a part of collections, they may command some premium price. And these covers could be part of the aerophilately thematic or special cover collections for the aerophilatlist and the other philatelists who want to use these covers. Postal services of Great Britain, USA, Canada, South Africa, and Germany are known to have issued such cover special cancellations. But as far as our neighboring countries are concerned, I think as far as I know of Bangladesh, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, or maybe even Nepal, all the defense-related covers are issued by their postal services and nothing by their armed forces postal services. So this is a unique kind of you can say arrangement where the APS issues such covers in India. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Colonel Thapar.